Hey there, welcome to the Breakthrough Creative. I'm your host, John McDavitt. This is the place where we talk about the business of art and the art of business. And this week, I want to share with you 3 must do practices with new clients. These are 3 things that you need to do to grow a flourishing relationship with the client. And you're going to find out if they're the client for you because you may not be able to do all of these steps with them. Now, in episode 45, which is one you may want to check out, I talk about how artists, designers, writers, illustrators can get clients. I talk about how to identify the clients, how to contact them, how to make the offer or ask for the project work, and how to build relationships with your clients. I'm going to talk a little bit about building relationships today, but it's like a micro lesson of what to look for in actually building those relationships. So episode 45 is a good one to check out. And then when you get to that next step, you're in the door, you've got the client. These are 3 things to do that are just so very important. And it's easy for artists to miss these, especially if you're starting out. Especially if you're starting out. And one thing that I want to say actually before I get into any of these steps is when you get in with the new client, just because you get in, you're meeting with them, maybe you have the project, don't get so comfortable that you make a mistake, like being too familiar or maybe making a joke that is inappropriate in the professional world. I mean, frankly, we all need to learn how to be pros. Everybody has to. Some people go to school for it. So others learn as they go. But you really need to be mindful of how you come across to your clients. What you say, what you wear. I wouldn't wear this. This is too casual. I'd have a button-down shirt on. I might have jeans. I might have Dockers going into the client. If it's a corporate client, I'm going to want to consider that as opposed to going into an interview with, say, a public organization for a mural that they want. So you really want to be on your guard, put your best foot forward so that people will respect you and see you as a professional. Okay, so there's a freebie I didn't even have on my list. But the first thing to do, the first of these must-do practices is keep it simple. You're going to keep it simple, okay? You don't want to go in all crazy and offering a million different things. Chances are if the client is having you in and they're giving you a project, they see that you have a specific fit for a problem. You are going to be the solution to their problem. And you don't want to overwhelm them, and you don't want to get ahead of the game and ask for more work right away. You want to do the one project. It's testing the relationship, okay? And it's a wonderful opportunity to show them what you can do. And you want to do this well, okay? So whatever you say you're going to do and whatever they ask for, because those are 2 things you need to put together, right? Because they're going to ask for something, and then you're going to tell them what you're going to do for them, and then they're going to say, oh, okay, that sounds good. I would write those terms down, okay? I would write down, hey, I'm going to create 2 drawings for you that are going to, one is going to be a series of concepts that you're going to sift through and decide what you like. And then the next drawing is going to be a fleshing out of those concepts. And even the fleshing out, it's a whole other episode to talk about that. But even the fleshing out, I would be very specific. So I'll cover that in an episode down the road. But The keep it simple first step is do what you say you are going to do. Okay. The second part of keep it simple is be on time. Be on time. Don't be late. Don't be late for anything with the client unless you have a really good reason to be late. There's an emergency of some sort. The traffic was really bad because there was an accident. But don't just let the lateness hang there and the clock run past when you were supposed to be there. As soon as you know you have an issue, get on the phone and call the client. You got to get on with them right away. Email them, text them safely, of course, right? If you're in traffic, you got to pull over, right? But you've really got to be on this one because they're watching you probably like a hawk in this first project, and you want to be on time. You want to be on time, not just for the meetings. You want to be on time in responding to their emails, to responding to steps that you're going to take on the project. Oftentimes I'll get a project and I'll say, hey, this is great. Let me look at it. If I have any questions, I'll call you tomorrow. And if I have questions, then I call them tomorrow, or I email to set that up, or I email the questions even to give them an idea of what I'm going to be calling to ask them about. But then if I say, I'll have drawings for you in the next 2 days, I'm going to have drawings for them in the next 2 days. If you're starting out with them and you say 2 days, try and have the drawings in the next day. You want to give yourself a wiggle room window of time to get things done, but get those sketches to them in a timely fashion. And then you need to deliver on time. So time is really important. You need to know what the clock is on their end of things. What do they need? When do they need it by? When do they need to talk to you? Do they need to see you? All this stuff. So be on time. You don't want to be the person that people are waiting for. Or you don't want to be the person that's like, they didn't deliver on time. Chances are they will never use you again. You gotta be on time. Sometimes that can be painful because the time for the project is getting less and less and less, and maybe you don't have all the answers you need, and maybe they're trying really hard to get you the answers, or maybe somebody high up isn't providing the answers, and then finally at the last minute they give you your direction. You might be up all night. That's part of the job, and you'll have to figure out how to charge for that, and figure out even if that's the kind of client you want. You work is hard, and we want to provide a good service, but I don't know that we want it to be ridiculous circumstances every time. Make sense? Okay. All right. And then the last part of keep it simple is no surprises. Don't surprise anybody with anything. You do, unless you're early and you're done. But you don't want to surprise somebody with, oh, they wanted me to write 1,000 words for them on this project, and so I wrote 800 because they're really good, or I wrote 1,500 because they're really good. Give them 1,000 words. If they say our branding for this particular product you're working on, our branding is PMS 264 and Pantone PMS Red 187, give them those colors. Don't show up with purple and yellow, okay? Give them what they ask for. No surprises. All right, keep it simple. Do what you say you're gonna do, be on time, no surprises. All right, move on to step 2. While you're keeping it simple with them, while you are finishing a project, you're walking through a process of a project with them, with your client, maybe a team, maybe one person, there's usually a point person, okay? You are building your relationship with them. You're building your relationship with them. So they're watching you. They're doing other things, but they're watching you on the project. What are you delivering to them? What is the quality of the work? Is it on time? Are you giving them what they're asking for? All of this stuff is a foundation for building the relationship. And it goes both ways, right? Because you're watching them too, and you're trying to decide, is this a company that I could grow with? Because I think that's what you're really looking for. You're looking for a company to grow with. You don't want all these one-off pieces that you're going to be doing for clients far and wide. You want to get to know somebody, you want to know that they're reliable, you want to know how they pay, you want to know how the work is coming in, and then you want to be a resource for them where they go, oh, John is the guy for this. That's what I want to hear from my clients. We knew this was you. You need to do this. It's going to be perfect for you, and we can rely on you. And so you're building the relationship. And then this is point 3, and this is an important one, okay? They're all important, but this is kind of the next step one. At some point, you want to offer them more, okay? And this is about offering what all your services are. Maybe your services are really simple and neat, and you do one thing or you do a couple of things, but my point about offering more is you've gotten to a place in the relationship where it's almost like dating, where you're like, hey, are we getting serious now? Like, is this something that we both want to pursue? And if the client says yes, that's fantastic. So what does that look like? Well, I don't know that I do it right after the first project. What I do is as a little tag onto my emails, or if I'm speaking with somebody, is say, hey, I'm so glad you're happy with the project. Is it all wrapped up? It's all wrapped up? Yes, it's all wrapped up. Maybe they'll tell you everybody was pleased. Maybe they won't give you any feedback. And you can ask them though, are you happy with the project? Oh yeah, it fills all our needs. And people are all over the board on that. So I just try to ask directly. And then my next statement will be, okay, then I'm going to go ahead. I'll send the invoice. Let me know if you have any questions on the invoice. There shouldn't be any. There should be no surprises because you've already set your terms. But if they do have questions, it may be the way that you've framed something in the invoice is unusual to them because they're getting to know you, and then you can explain it to them, and then that should take care of everything. And if it doesn't, then you've got to figure out what next steps are there. But after that point, I'll say, hey, it was great working with you on this project. I'm looking forward to working with you again. And this is where I'll feel it out and decide if I want to ask them directly, is there any more work I can do for you? Are there any other projects sitting out there that I might be able to help with? So I'll either do it right at the end of that first project, or I may wait a week. I may wait 2 weeks. And then I'll email them. An email is usually best for this because people are busy, right? Unless you set up a time with somebody. I'll email them and I'll say, hey, it's a lot more professionally than this, right? But it's like, hey, I'm touching base with you. I just wanted to check and see if there are any additional projects out there I might be able to help with. And now they've said no before, but a couple of weeks have gone by, so you can say, hey, I wonder if anything came up that I might be able to help you with. And do you know all the services that I provide, everything that I offer? And they may not. And so I'll ask that question. I'll say, hey, can I send you additional samples of my work so that you understand my services? And then they usually say yes. Well, now here's where you can either direct them to your website, or you can put a specific short, easy presentation together for them. And then you can even ask them at the end of that, you can put out there, if you would like to talk about any of the additional services I offer to bring clarity to what it is that I do, we can talk by phone, we can Zoom with the team, I can come in, whatever it is you'd like to do. So here you are, keeping it simple, right? All the way through, building the relationship, right? You're trustworthy, you're giving them what they need, and then you want to offer them more. You want to solve more of their problems. And I think a lot of the times we can get into the mindset of, oh, they're going to think I'm greedy, or that I want all this. You do want the business. You're working to be in business, right? You want to bill and charge for what it is that you do, so you can make a living and provide for yourself and or your family or whatever you've got going on in life. And it's really, really important. So you want to offer more, and you just got to get into the habit of doing that. So there you have it. 3 must-do practices with your new clients. 1, keep it simple. Do what you say you're going to do. Be on time. No surprises. 2, build the relationship. That's what Keep It Simple is all about. That's what the projects are all about. That's what you working with this person or team is all about. You're building the relationship. And then when you've solved their problems, once they're happy with that first project, maybe you even feel like it's 2, 3 projects down the road, you offer more. I tend to like to offer more early on in the relationship because I want to keep the ball rolling. I don't want them to forget about me. And the more you can get somebody to rely, or a team to rely on your services to solve their problems, the quicker you can get in and become a part of their culture, and then just become a no-brain decision for them to bring you in to solve whatever it is they need solved. Okay? All right. There you go. You can put that stuff to work. Please subscribe to the show. If you're listening on the podcast, go ahead and leave me a review, please, and then follow me on Apple Podcasts. And if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so when new episodes come up, it'll pop up in your feed. And then, would you please share these episodes with the artists and creatives in your life? It's going to help them to make a living. It's going to help them to figure out the business of art and the art of business. So, have a spectacular day. See you next time.